Hey everyone, I am Anthony Scott of ToyHypeUSA.com. Today we are taking a look at the FanHome Star Wars R2-D2 Astromech Droid subscription box. This is the second box offered, and we previously took a look at the first box, so go back on YouTube and look for that review. This is a box that you build your own R2-D2 and features LED lights, interactive intelligence, moldable modes, and functions. It's a really neat little thing that you build with each box. Each box comes with its own unique parts, as well as magazines. For example, the first box, I believe, came with 2 magazines and 2 different beginning parts to build R2-D2. This one includes 4, so it's going to be a little bit more time consuming. Each magazine is going to be a little different. And there are 4 steps to build R2-D2, so you're going to see more of those details, stuff like that. R2-D2 comes in a standard subscription box that's pretty consistent with all other subscription boxes from other companies. This one has the FanHome logo on top. And to visit fanhome.com, check out the link below in the YouTube description or on toyhypeusa.com so it can be tracked. We greatly appreciate that. So you see the purple color there on the front, and the sides gives you a little bit more information, hashtag FanHome, so they can look at your social media posts. And back of the box, it's just going to look like that. Alright, so now we're going to take a closer look at issue 3. Issue 3, you're going to be using this package right here with these parts, and of course we're going to take a closer look at that. Let's just look at the back here for a second. So issue 3 has a big picture of the R2-D2 model kit that you're going to be building, and as you can see, it's really beautiful once it's all done. Inside the issue, which you see on the top there, issue 3, there's various information, Droid directory, R2-D2 Rebel Astromech, Inside Star Wars, motion control filming, and some of the parts that you're going to be building that came with the first box. So let's open this up. So you start with the table of contents. Let's take a closer look at that, giving you a look at the pages and everything. And on the right here, it starts off with the first article, Innovation, Motion Control Filming. So there's a lot of really good information on here, how they did the film, the special effects. There's just an enormous amount of information in these magazines that you may or may not be aware of. Here's a look at the next page here. And there's just a lot of really nice pictures associated with the articles. All right, this is the R2 series, Astromech Droids Part 2. This gives you a little bit more information about R2-D2 and their programming from the franchise, things like that. And this is just a continuation, which you see here. Very nice images that they used with this. Here's information about the circuit boards. This is a pretty informative article. A lot of good information here. Let's take a closer look. And article continued. So the last part of each magazine gives you step-by-step instructions of the parts that are going to be used to continue to build R2-D2. And on here, this is a part breakdown with all the parts that you're going to use. For this one, you're going to use parts from the first box, which is magazines 1 and 2, and you're going to be using parts with magazine 3, which you see right here. And here we have the step-by-step instructions about how to build R2-D2. It's basically straightforward, but do take your time as you build it, because you definitely don't want to make a mistake. So what I'm going to do now is build the steps, and let's take a closer look at it once it's complete. All right, so the assembly for magazine number 3 is now complete. And here is a look at the first one here, as stated right above on the instructions. With this, you're going to be placing on this blue piece here, which goes in the center of the silver piece. Just be careful when you get to here. This piece is glued on, and it's a tight fit, but it does fit, so just be extra careful on that. And here is a look at the bottom, just to show you where it fits into the holes and everything. These blue pegs are from this blue piece here, so you're going to want to slide them in very carefully. Second piece is this faceplate, and it goes in this blue piece here. It doesn't snap in, so just be aware of that just yet. You won't be snapping that in until stage 10, as it says it down there. And this piece is protected by film, so if you take off the film like I did, just make sure you don't scratch it. As you can see, this is loose fitting on here. And then this little piece, this attaches to the side as specifies on part number 6 right here. The last stage of assembly is steps 7 through 9, although there's step 11 up there. With this, you're going to want to attach this piece from box number 1, and you're going to put it right on the processor state indicator where it says out. So make sure to put it in the right spot. There's power, and then there's out. Out is where you want to put that in. Steps 10 and 11 just specify how to press it in. You're going to want to note there's a little lip right here on top. And you just want to be very careful how you put it in there. And then step 11 just specifies to press it in. And that's going to be the finished step right there. Issue 4 gives you another image of R2-D2 on the front there. You also have a couple of new articles, such as Inside Star Wars Filming R2-D2 Part 1 and Droid Directory C-3PO Protocol Droids Part 2. On the top there, there's some additional steps for building R2-D2, another package with things they're going to be building the components inside, and that's going to be in the back of the magazine. Inside, you have the table of contents on the left there, and on the right, you have the first article, Filming R2-D2 Part 1. There's a lot of really good information in that. And this is a continuation, a lot of good information, some really good images. There is the article about C-3PO. Some great images on this too. And here is some information about R2-D2 and his image sensors. A lot of complicated things about Astromech droids, all the technology used to create them. And this is a continuation right here. So this next step, stage 4 parts, it's giving you a list of parts that it's going to be used to continue to build R2-D2, which you see here. And this bag is numbered, so you know which bag goes with which magazine. See the number 4 there? Since this is issue 4, this is what you're going to be using. The last part is assembling more of the leg of R2-D2, and you're going to be starting off with these 3 pieces that I showed you here. So if you look at the back of this piece right here, you're going to be putting in that small round, almost die-cast piece or metal. It's a pretty heavy piece, and you're just going to push that through, and then you're going to twist it. So just as it says on the instructions, you're going to want to twist it a little bit so these 2 clips on this side can be touching this little thing right here. Once it's in, it won't fall out. So that's how to do that. And then on the other side, this cover right here, I was saying this cover right here is just going to be put in right like this. It's just going to be put on that side, and that's not yet ready to be secured. That's a later step. So for now, that's just going to be loose fitting. The final step is to begin with the battery pack and the LED lights. And you're going to need 3 AA batteries. Thankfully, I had a couple on hand, what I needed. So with this, that's better. So with this is what you're going to start off with. Batteries are not included. You're going to have to get them. And then you're going to put that in the circuit board as shown. Just make sure to use the parts that are up as shown so it fits. Unscrew the battery pack, put the batteries in, and then test your LED lights. So once you're done, as shown, there's a on and off switch. Right now that's on the on switch, but there's a better look at that. So now I was expecting that to just go on and off, but you actually have to push these buttons. I tested my batteries. I thought, oh my God, what did I do now? But it's really easy. You just push these buttons. So the lights work, the batteries work, and there's your look at that. Continuing on to issue 5, we are doing some more steps to build R2-D2, and we are fitting the central head bearing. The articles inside are Star Wars Filming R2-D2 Part 2 and Droid Factory Dio. This magazine comes with bag number 5, so these are all the parts and everything that you're going to need to assemble it. See, there's little bolts and a whole lot of screws in here, so it's going to take a little bit of time. Inside this magazine, we are seeing a similar table of contents that we've previously seen. Continuing on with issue 5, this is some more additional steps for building R2-D2, including fitting the central head bearing. The articles include Inside Star Wars, Filming R2-D2 Part 2, which is a continuing article from previous magazine, and Droid Directory Dio. This issue corresponds with bag number 5. So you're going to be using these parts right here, and you'll see a whole lot of bolts and screws and everything that you're going to be using. Taking a look at the magazine. Oop. You see the table of contents right here, and the Filming R2-D2 Part 2 article with some great images on here. These pages especially have some really nice images back when they were originally filming the trilogy. So there's a lot of good information here that I would recommend you guys getting a subscription and reading about. And here is the article on Dio, which you see right here, which is this guy. This guy is BB-8, just to clarify. Continuation. And a continuation of the technology used to go into these droids. Here's the back of that. It's definitely a good read. So on this magazine, what we're going to be doing is start to build the top of the dome on top of R2-D2, which is right here. So you're going to be using all these parts that you see here, and you're going to be using a bunch of screws, some bolts, stuff like that. So just be aware that there's, let's see, 4 different screws and nuts. So each screw is going to be a different size and everything. But don't worry, they have it all labeled for you, so it's not going to be too confusing. And here is a look at that. So what I'm going to do is put this together, and let's go step by step. The assembly is pretty simple. You're just going to want to pay very close attention to what you're doing. Line up this piece in the center here, and then put that piece right on top, and then screw it in as shown. Then you line up here with the triangle, put in a couple of nuts, and then screw it in with the longer screws. On this here, you're going to be using the shorter screws. And then you're going to have a piece that looks just like that, which is right here. So notice the screws are in there, the nuts on this side. So fairly simple. The only thing with this is that these screws and nuts comes in these types of bags. So once you rip them, you're going to have a ton of leftovers that you're probably going to use on a future assembly. So okay, so what I was saying, once you open them, you're going to have bags that look like this. So you may want to put them in a Ziploc bag just to keep them from being lost, stuff like that, because these aren't resealable. So what I'm going to do now, sorry about that, this doesn't want to stay on too well, is go on to issue number 6. Finally, issue number 6. So you're going to be building R2-D2's diagnostic display, which is bag number 6 right here. There's a number of pieces inside. The articles include Inside Star Wars Filming R2-D2 Part 3 and Droid Directory EGL Power Droids. Let's take a look inside issue number 6. On the left here, you have the table of contents, while on the right, you have Filming R2-D2 Part 3 article with some really fantastic images. Also a really good informative article. Continuation of that. Now, you're looking at the EGL power droids. All information on these particular droids. And a continuation on that. Robot technology, various information, some really good details. So once you go through all that, and it's a really good read, on here you're going to be starting to build R2-D2's diagnostic display. You're going to have all these pieces right here. And you're going to be assembling it. So what I'm going to do now is begin assembly, and we're going to take a closer look. This last part is really not too difficult. What you're going to want to do is line this up as shown and then screw it in. So you're going to be starting off with all those pieces there. Line this up. You're going to want to be facing this forward, not backwards. Then you're going to be putting that piece on. Screwing that in. And then you're going to be testing the battery. So once you get it working, it's going to be lighting up as shown. Let's take a look here. So I showed you guys earlier in the video, this part right here was tested with this battery. You're going to want to disconnect it from here because you're going to be wanting to use the same battery pack to test this. So in order to test it, which you see it's fully assembled, you just press one of the buttons and there you go. So each button makes it work a little bit different. And here is just closer look. So, and then there are the screws back here. It's a little dark, but you guys should be able to see it. Overall, so far, I'm very excited with this. Can't wait to complete R2-D2. Thank you again to FanHome for providing this for review. Greatly appreciate that. My recommendation is to definitely subscribe. It's a fun build, and I think R2-D2 is going to come out amazing once it's all done. I am Anthony Scott at toyhypeusa.com. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and share this video, and stay tuned for more coverage.